Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of NJ Advanced Media's live politics video chat. I am Brent Johnson, a reporter with the State House Bureau at NJ Advanced Media, and I am joined by State Senator Raymond Lesniak, who has been leading the push to legalize sports betting in New Jersey in an effort to revitalize the state's gaming industry, including the struggling Atlantic City. They got close to legalizing sports betting last week. Governor Chris Christie signed a law that Mr. Lesniak sponsored to pave the way for legalized sports betting at casinos and racetracks by repealing an old state ban. But a federal judge put a stop to that, halting Monmouth Park's plan to become the first venue to take bets on Sunday. It was part of a request by 4 sports leagues and the NCAA to stop sports betting. They filed for a temporary restraining order, and the judge granted it. Well, let's get to questions. We have Senator Lesniak here who can help us learn a little bit more about this topic. Senator, thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
So why is sports betting so important? Why the years-long push to have this happen?
Sure. Actually, for me, it's been a 6-year long journey. Because I recognize that Atlantic City in particular, but also our racing industry, needs additional revenues that sports betting can provide. Also, if you go to Las Vegas on any long weekend during NFL season, Super Bowl, NCAA tournament, indeed any big sporting event, you cannot get a room, and Atlantic City is a ghost town. Unlike most visitors to Atlantic City, where studies have shown that the average visitor spends 11 hours there, the sports bettor will stay there, rent rooms there for long weekends, long weeks. They like to enjoy the action, have a few drinks, dine, rent a room. It'll be a big boost. It'll reboot Atlantic City's economy, and likewise for the racing industry. That, you know, my dad used to go to Monmouth Racetrack on every Saturday, take the train from Elizabeth, but that industry is losing support, losing customers. Bringing in the sports bettor will help those industries and save those jobs and bring back a lot of the jobs that we've seen lost in Atlantic City. That's why I'm fighting so hard.
One thing you'll hear people say, you know, you already have illegal sports betting. People go place bets every day on sports, you know, through illegal means. How much is the state losing every year in what could be revenue because of illegal operations?
Yeah, not only are we losing revenue, but more importantly, as I said, we're losing jobs. Now, these are people who would be employed, pay taxes themselves, and industries that would stay open. And you're right, that money is going. We just recently had another bust of an organized crime-run sports betting ring in New Jersey. That's what got me started in the first place. Every Super Bowl time, we have a bust of an organized crime-run sports betting ring. Why not make it legal, have people enjoy it here, just rather than have to hop on an airplane and go to Las Vegas? And by the way, that's one of the reasons why I believe sports betting was banned in the first place. This was before the internet. People are betting on the internet every day as well at offshore sites. So not only are we losing those revenues, but we're losing employment opportunities as well.
So now we're going to get to some questions from readers. NJ.com user Justin Escher-Alpert wants to know, say he wants to open his own sports betting operation. Will that ever be a possibility?
No, not on my watch, and I don't believe on Governor Christie's watch.
So it's only casinos and racetracks.
Yeah, I mean, we want to focus on those industries, bring back those jobs. By the way, that does exist in other countries. In London, in Ireland, Australia, you can open up your own shop. But that's not going to happen here, nor would I support it.
NJ.com user Scorpions wants to know, can you now bet on boxing and tennis? Those leagues haven't filed for the temporary restraining order and aren't suing.
Now that's an excellent question, because here's what I expect will happen. Monmouth Racetrack has said no, yes we could, but we want the whole enchilada, and that's obviously the NFL, basketball, and even baseball. But I believe if we ultimately have to go to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, which will take another 6 months or more, that we're going to revisit that question. I believe that betting on soccer will be a big attraction for New Jersey. Can you imagine Portugal playing Spain?
Yeah.
What a big attraction that would be. I know how it is in Downneck and here in Elizabeth as well during the World Cup. So that opportunity will open up. I understand even NASCAR is a big opportunity. I'm not a NASCAR fan. I don't understand it. But
not a lot of people here do.
Hey, there was a time when I didn't understand soccer either. I do now, and I'm a big fan. But that will be an opportunity for us. But right now, we're waiting to see how the sports betting goes. If we have to take it up to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, I would expect us to move in that direction in the interim.
NJ.com user Shifty Chic wants to know, will you be able to bet on the internet ever?
Ever, who knows? Ever is a long time. Obviously, that people are betting on the internet now. But my effort to legalize sports betting is prompted by getting fannies in the seat, getting people at the racetrack, at Atlantic City to promote their other attractions at those facilities. So that we're going to certainly stick to that, and that's where we're going, and that's where it's going to stay.
So just to make it clear, that right now, as the law stands, you will not be able to bet online, only if you go in person to the track or the casino.
That's correct.
NJ.com user Weffy wants to know, if the court battle fails, is this something that you could take to Congress? Is that a recourse at all?
Yeah, I've taken that to Congress 6 years ago. I sent letters to every single congressional representative from New Jersey, many of whom are personal friends of mine. I didn't even get a response back. They're not going to take on the NFL. They're too powerful. Harry Reid, the majority leader in the Senate, is from Nevada. That's a hurdle that's just not going to be overcome. And this is basically our last hurrah.
NJ.com user Observer NJ wants to know, will you ever bring sports betting to off-track betting sites? Because that seems to be a place that already has a betting operation in place.
You know, that's down the road. I have no idea. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, I want to reboot Atlantic City and our existing live racetracks. That's what I'm focusing on.
The other thing is, a lot of readers and myself want to know is, the NFL plays games in London. They played one this past weekend in London and have announced more games in London, and sports betting is legal there. And as we know, sports betting is also legal in Vegas. So how can they claim irreparable harm is being done to the league when they're playing in places where betting is legal and betting is already legal in Vegas?
They can, they did, and the judge bought it. That's why I'm not optimistic about the judge ultimately ruling in our favor. I wish we had a different judge. And I'm a lawyer, so maybe I'm going out on a limb here. But he rubber-stamped the NFL and the league's position. He stretched the law. He contorted the law to find irreparable injury. It wasn't there. It doesn't there. But he's the judge. And our only remedy, if we can't get him to change his mind, is an appeal. Unfortunately, that's where we may be headed, but we're not going to give up. We're going to make the best argument we can to get him to change his mind.
And last question. So what is next in this whole process? What's the next step for this?
Well, the absolute next step is for the judge to issue a scheduling order. And I hope he does it as soon as possible, to take oral arguments and to ultimately decide the case, because now this was just a preliminary finding. We're going to urge him to do it as soon as possible in the event that he doesn't rule in our favor, so we can take an appeal and get him overturned so that we can get sports betting going as soon as possible. This has been a long battle, a long journey, and we want to get it done sooner rather than later. So the next step is for the judge to say when he's going to hear oral argument. And of course, his decision, it's up to him when he renders that, but we're going to have to urge him to render it as soon as possible, because there are thousands of jobs that are hanging in the balance.
Do you expect this to go your way eventually?
Eventually, absolutely. I'm very confident that if Judge Shipp continues in the direction that he has, that he'll be overturned by the Third Circuit Court of Appeals.
Well, we'll wait and see. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon about this, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. For sure, I'm going to stay on top of this. I'm not going away on this.
And thank you to all the viewers who tuned in. We'll see you next time.